Alright, so a while back I made this Spike Spiegel portrait from the show Cowboy Bebop. Today I just want to make the other characters from that show and just kind of talk about the process of creating a portrait as it goes along. So let's hop right into it. Okay, so we're starting off with our first portrait. Well, I guess it's not our first portrait because this is the second one in the actual image itself. But this is a character called Jet Black from the series as well. He's also a bounty hunter, but more than I want to talk about him, I want to talk about the actual process that I'm using to create this portrait. Now, throughout this process, you'll see a blue line that pops up in the middle of a character's face. That actually is something called the horizontal symmetry tool that exists in Sprite. I should mention that this is being created in Sprite. You also will see me using the functions of Control-C plus V, just copying and pasting, flipping things using Shift-H. All that kind of stuff is outlined in two previous videos. One deals with character sprites. We actually make all characters using the horizontal symmetry tool. And then also there's one called How to Actually Get Started with Pixel Art that demonstrates the process of me using the Control-C plus Control-V process that you're going to see me using a lot here throughout the course of this. But I'll come back later in the video. Alright, so we started on our third portrait here. This is a portrait of a character called Faye Valentine from the series as well. In the process of actually creating this, you guys probably also seen me use a circle to kind of start the heads with, and then I will draw lines down using that horizontal symmetry tool just to kind of get started. I think that's probably the easiest way to get going whenever you're drawing a portrait. I can show a little diagram right now. And I use this same process really anytime I'm creating a portrait, especially when I'm looking at a portrait straight ahead, just because I feel like it's definitely the easiest way to get started with it. And I'm definitely making use, like I said, of tools like the horizontal symmetry tool, as well as Control-C plus Control-V, that kind of thing, just to save myself lots of time throughout the course of this. So just kind of a heads up and how I'm creating the portraits, but let's get back to just watching the video. Okay, and so we're starting on our last portrait here, a character named Ed. Ed is a teenager slash hacker extraordinaire genius. I would say that they're probably a crowd favorite just in the way they behave and act. They're kind of goofy and zany, but also really smart. And they kind of add a sense of chaos to this show, just kind of an uncontrollable chaos that maybe it wouldn't have without this specific character. But this is the last portrait, and I know this is not the last character that's in the show, so we're asking, okay, where's Ein? Where's the dog? Where's the dog going to be? Why haven't you put the dog in yet? Well, I'm going to put the dog in. I just didn't want to give it its own image. I want to kind of have that be a thing that gives it some personality. So I'm going to add Ein in front at the tail end of this, but you'll see it in just a moment. Alright, and here we go, the moment we've all been waiting for, or some of you have been waiting for, I guess. is he's adding the dog. He's adding Ein. So I'm adding Ein in front of all the character portraits just because I felt like I wanted to give the portraits a sense of depth that I didn't have already. They felt very flat and very stiff, and I felt like if I was to put the dog in front of all the other things and make it animate, it would give it a sense of life that maybe it's lacking right now. But I also didn't want to take the time to animate all the character portraits themselves, just because I did want them to have kind of like a character select kind of overview, stiff rigidness feeling where it's just like a snapshot of their personality. So you'll see me now animating Ein himself. He'll be barking in just a second and just kind of sitting at his food bowl. I do a little bit later add a glitch to the characters themselves just to kind of give them a little bit of personality, but I'll chime back in whenever the video is over with. Alright, so wrapping it up here at the very end, kind of just finishing off the little glitch effect I mentioned just a second ago. But as we kind of wrap this up, you guys are going to see the final still image of this, which I'm pretty happy with, and then we'll show you the final animation now. So I think that it just gives a little bit of personality to have the actual little glitch effect, just kind of like a simple loop that doesn't take much, and whenever the dog barks, it kind of glitches in that moment, in that first little loop there. So happy with how it turned out. If you liked the video, make sure to like it. If you like more stuff like this, or you want more stuff like this, then make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching this long. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the process. Take care. See you later.